So this channel covers everything from like gaming industry news to FPS content, and I usually kind of stay within the tactical shooter niche, but recently tactical shooters haven't really been hitting, and I've been discussing recently about my kind of disdain for the tactical shooter space, and my moderators in Discord put together a tier list for me to rank a lot of the FPS games that I've covered in the past to kind of let you guys know where I'm at with them and where I think they rank in 2025. All right, so my mod set up this tier list. Underneath this little ad down here is where all of the games are, and we're just gonna dive in. I haven't looked at this yet. They curated the games, and we're gonna talk about it. So this is the tactical shooter tier list, according to me. So Arma 3, classic. That's S tier, bro. Arma 3 was one of the big reasons why I started my YouTube channel in the first place. Fantastic game. Battlefield 2042. You know, if this was launch 2042, I'd put it there. By the end of like its lifespan, I do think it would be like a D. I'd realistically probably put it at a C, but because of what it did to the industry, it's gotta be between D and F. Like, take the game quality at the end of its lifespan out of it. That game really hurt the community. The internet lost a lot of trust when it came to the coverage of video games. So I want to put it in F tier just because. The next one is BattleBit Remastered. Interesting. Kind of the opposite effect that Battlefield had. If this was at launch, I probably would have put it at like an S or an A tier, but they haven't updated the game in over a year. So like, as somebody who covers and tries to hold like early access games accountable, like I think BattleBit's sitting at a D tier right now because you guys literally abandoned the product. Ground Branch. Whew. I think, and again, I'm going to come back and adjust these after a while. I think Ground Branch, for what it is, and like, let's be just completely honest, I think Ground Branch is hovering between a C and a D. I think when I first played it, I would have put it at a B tier, but the development timeline has just been, it's been so slow. It's tough for me to put it I'm gonna leave it at C for now, and we'll adjust later. Incursion Red River. It's not really that good of a game. I don't. It's weird. If I'm putting this at D, which I think I will put it at D, I think that means that BattleBit Remastered automatically has to get bumped to a C tier, just because the quality level it's just night and day. And again, we'll adjust these as we go. Hell Let Loose. I mean, Hell Let Loose has got to be, what, A tier? You could make the argument that it's an S, but again, I'm only looking at the first game. I'm not looking past it, so I don't know what's coming. I'm going to put Hell Let Loose in A for now, but I feel like the way this list is breaking out, I think it's eventually going to go to S. It's just a quality title. And even though Team 17 took over and like Black Matter no longer works on the product, I still think it's a really, really solid shooter. Again, exact opposite, Body Cam. I think Body Cam is probably one of the worst. I'm gonna put it at D for now, but it might drop to an F. We'll see. Damn, Arena Breakout Infinite. I think Arena Breakout Infinite is a fantastic game that is marred by their monetization. I think Arena Breakout Infinite should be in an A tier, but their monetization hurts the game for me in the standings. I'd actually probably bump it down here, but like the quality of the game is still really, really good in my opinion. So I want to, it's hovering, you know. 0 Hour. I think 0 Hour. I think 0 Hour is on the same level as a Ground Branch, maybe a little bit higher, just because of the content. So here's what I would do. I would set the C tier up like this, even though BattleBit's been abandoned. It's so weird. 0 Hour, fantastic. Here, okay, this is what I'd actually say. I think 0 Hour is probably sitting at a B tier, which means, in my opinion, automatically, Arena Breakout should go to an A tier. But because of that monetization, I just can't put it there. So I think we got to go there. But then again, I do think BattleBit Remastered is a better game than 0 Hour. Fuck me, that's tough. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I think if it was at launch, it would have been an F tier, because I think that really hurt the Ghost Recon franchise. But once they dropped the Motherland update, shit, I actually think it's a much better game now than it was at launch. C tier, I'd probably put it at a C tier. I think it's better than both of these games personally. But yeah, I think that's the move there. Caliber, damn. I'm a fan of Caliber. I actually really like here. Okay, so here's what I'll do. Caliber, third-person shooter. I would probably put it at a B tier, but then you got to think about the monetization. Just like I did with Arena Breakout, I don't think it's fair to put Caliber on the same level. I think Caliber goes right there. I think it gets bumped down a level because now they've introduced this thing called Caliber Plus, where you can pay like a price just right up front. The game's free, but you can buy Caliber Plus and basically bypass all of the unlocks, and you buy every operator and you can like level them up and you bypass all of the grind. So they created such a grindy experience that led to pay to win, like in total, just to bypass it all. They created the problem and then sold you the solution. And I don't think it's a good practice. We have Delta Force. Delta Force. I think Delta Force is an A tier game. I think Delta Force is an A tier, but I don't think it's been out long enough to put it at an S tier. Like Arma 3's been out, it's tried and true. It still has a massive player base. Delta Force is killing it, but I haven't seen enough to keep it at S tier yet. I'm putting it at A because it's a fantastic title. World War III, F tier. If they would have actually developed the game and stuck with it and created content, it would have been here. Straight up, World War III could have been a B or an A tier game. And there's a new dev team that's apparently taken over. We'll see what happens. That it might jump to a D, you know. But for now, it's sitting at F. Insurgency, it's an S tier title. These two were staples of my channel's like upbringing. I was playing these games at the time, you know, 2013 for Arma, 2014 Insurgency, and then you had the third-person mod. The mod support for both of these games was fantastic. Yeah, Insurgency holds a special place in my heart, and I saw the next one too. Insurgency Sandstorm, I'm also putting up there. Even though I don't play the game anymore because obviously the player base has dwindled, and then, you know, NWI really doesn't exist anymore. I still, 2018 when this came out, incredible experience. These are staples of my channel. Yeah, a lot of memories there. CSGO, or CS2 now. You know, I'd put it at an A tier, honestly. I'm not the biggest like CSGO player anymore, or CS2 player, but I have like 500-600 hours in the game. It's a great game. I really don't know what else to say. It's the most consistent game on this entire list, right? Like Arma's been around for, well, it's been 11 years now. Counter-Strike's been around for like 30. You know, it's consistent. It's a great game. I wouldn't put it at S tier. S tier is reserved for the games that really kind of shaped, you know, how this community came together. And CS wasn't really a big part of that, but it's still a fantastic title. Battlegrounds, PUBG. Ooh, I think Battlegrounds is also an A tier. I liked it better back in the day. I haven't played it in a long time, but yeah, Battlegrounds. Honestly, I might put it at a B because it is a little janky, it is a little clunky, and it's definitely aged not so gracefully, we'll say. Not as gracefully as a game like Counter-Strike has, in my opinion. I'm gonna leave it at A for now, and I think this is actually, if I were to rank each tier, I would probably do this. Delta Force, Hell Let Loose. I would probably do that simply because I played more Battlegrounds with friends than I did CS. I just have more memories there. Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is another great game. I would probably put that in an A tier as well. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it. It is Ubisoft. I totally get it. Rainbow Six, I've probably played more than, honestly, any of these titles. A lot of memories of the early days of Rainbow Six. And even in the last few years, I put quite a bit of time into the game, and it's the best Ubisoft IP that exists right now, which is sad, but it is what it is. 6 Days in Fallujah. 6 Days in Fallujah. I like 6 Days. I would probably put it here. It would be at the low end of B, high end of C. It'd be sitting in between these 2 points here. 6 Days in Fallujah is a great game. I don't think it's as robust, and I still think it's a little bit more clunky than a game like Arena Breakout Infinite. So I actually think what I would probably do here would flip Ghost Recon Breakpoint and put 6 Days there, or it would be something like this. I can't put 6 Days on the same level as Caliber. I just can't. They're both good games, but as a rating, that's tough. Because 6 Days is great, but it doesn't have a lot of content yet. It's still in early access. I think this is what we have to do. I think for me, I'm a sucker for third-person shooters. 0 Hour went through the early access trials and tribulations. They got a lot of content out there, and they finished the game, which I think is a feat that we have to give a little bit of credit to when it comes to these games. So I think 6 Days in Fallujah gets bumped simply because it still has a long way to go. Kind of the same as Ground Branch, kind of the same as Incursion. You know, yeah, I got to do it. Gray Zone Warfare is the next one. Ooh, damn. I think Gray Zone Warfare is in the same boat as 6 Days in Fallujah. I think I like the style of Gray Zone Warfare more than 6 Days in Fallujah. I think I actually like it more than 0 Hour, even though there's a lot of issues. And I actually think, I think it's got to go here. It's low end B, high end C, I think. There's still a long way to go. It's still very early access, but I think Gray Zone Warfare at 1.0, I will like a lot more than a 6 Days in Fallujah 1.0, which is why this is a little bit of a tough tier list. Like, it's the early access really throws a fuck into all of this stuff. Ready or Not has to be an A or potentially an S tier. Ready or Not is still, honestly, we're calling S tier. I think Ready or Not is one of the best tactical shooters out there right now. And if you're into like the CQC, you know, like SWAT style gameplay, it's one of the best. Yeah, it's got to be an S tier. It's one of the staples of the channel. I've been covering Ready or Not since like before their Kickstarter. A lot of memories there in the early days of Ready or Not. Yeah, it's got to go there. Escape from Tarkov. Ugh. Honestly, I know a lot of my fans love Tarkov. I can't stand it. I don't get it. I think Arena Breakout Infinite is a much more streamlined experience. I think Tarkov is probably here in terms of an actual ranking. I know most people would throw it at an S tier, and I get it. I fully understand it. Just not a Tarkov guy. And whether or not that's, you know, the history that we have there, but I also just think the game is it just doesn't feel good to play. Like when you're having to read spreadsheets, when there's leg metas, so you're shooting at dudes' legs. It just, to me, it's not what I want out of a shooter. And when it was first being announced and shown off, I thought that's what I wanted. But the gameplay just leaves so much to be desired for me that it's just not my style. And Star Citizen is F tier, man. I think Star Citizen Star Citizen at 1.0 S tier, right? Like dream title. Star Citizen is F tier until we start to see something worthwhile from them, because we're barely getting a gameplay loop at this point, and it's been like 12 years. So I'm putting it at F tier until they actually show, until they actually show some effort. Operation Harsh Doorstop. Fuck me. We're gonna throw Operation Harsh Doorstop there. We'll actually call this one FTC compliant. How does that sound? That works. Operation Harsh Doorstop can go there. I think what I want to do is bump BattleBit Remastered down. And I think just for the sake of the impact that the game has had on the industry, I think we have to bump Escape from Tarkov up. And then I think because, and you know what, like I'm not talking about potential anymore. I think because Gray Zone Warfare launched way too early, I think it has to get knocked down a peg with the guys who don't have a lot of content yet, you know? I think 0 Hour just gets the bump because it actually came out of early access and was developed and had updates. But BattleBit Remastered, I actually think I'm going to drop to a D tier. You can't put a game out, have every single content creator like on your dick, and then not update the game in a year. There's no excuse for why that game has been abandoned. And I got, you know what? BattleBit pisses me off so much that I might just move it to F tier, but I can't put it under Body Cam because Body Cam was god awful. I think I'm pretty happy with this list. We're going to have a link to this list in our Discord. If you guys wanted to rank these games yourself, let us know what your tier list looks like. And if you guys want to join the Discord, it is linked down below. This tier list was made by my mods. They curated the entire list. They wanted to throw it on and they wanted me to record this video and be like, you know, let's rank tactical shooters and see where your head's at going into 2025. This was actually really, really cool. I have a lot of memories of a lot of these games from like the past: Insurgency, Sandstorm, Rainbow Six, 0 Hour. Yeah, I think going into 2025, this is definitely the list, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. These kind of videos always drive insane discussions. Let me know down below your thoughts on the current state of tactical shooters in 2025. My name is BigfryTV. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.